What's up, Dunwoody? Welcome back to the podcast that's all about Dunwoody, Georgia. My name is Matt Weber. The show is brought to you by Dr. Brett Friedman of Village Orthodontics and Discover Dunwoody. And today I've got Alan Mothner back on the show from Spruill Center for the Arts.
Got it.
And yeah, I think I can just throw it to you at this point. Last time we talked about Artistic Affair in March, and this is one of your other large, not a fundraiser, but just a party, correct?
Yeah, we're all about parties here at Spruill. If we have an excuse to throw a good party, we're in.
That's
This is Spirits for Spruill. This is the 6th year. We're doing Spirits for Spruill in conjunction with our Amplify Mural exhibit unveiling. So back in 2020, in the height of the pandemic, we took down the Everything Would Be Okay, the kind of iconic mural that had been up there for longer than a decade. And our thought was the messaging had changed, right? We had a lot going on in 2020. And we also wanted to try to give some other artists the ability to use that prominent space at the gallery as a showcase for their work. The other mural had been up, as I said, for just about a decade. And we felt it was time for a change. So we started this program called Amplify. And we put out a national call for artists. The winning mural got a $5,000 prize to come up with a new mural for the Smokehouse space. And so that was the first year in 2020, coming up now on our 6th year, and the program has continued to grow. This year, in fact, we did a couple things this year that made it hugely impactful for the artists. So around the time the call went out in April, also coincided with a lot of the changes in funding for artists. The NEA had some cutbacks and some other government agencies. So a lot of the artists were kind of struggling, right, to find funding. We planned last year to increase the impact of Amplify, and we doubled the prize money to $10,000. So it was a big prize. Yeah, it's a substantial, award for the mural. And so we doubled the prize. We had the changes kind of in the financial ecosystem for artists. And then we put a lot of effort behind marketing and getting the word out about this program. So this year we received 157 entries for the mural. Yeah, it was
Everybody
crazy.
Want that money.
It was we've also gained some prominence, Spruill and the gallery and kind of the programs that we're doing. So we had a little bit more name recognition, which I think helped drive entries. Yeah. But we got 157. We had a committee of, I think, 9 people that juried those 157, and we brought those down to 3 finalists. So I can announce the 3 finalists. We've announced it publicly, and they actually all ended up being from Metro Atlanta. Okay. And they're all well-known, well-respected muralists and artists in the community. And not tipping my hat, so this is in alphabetical order by last name. Chloe Alexander, Danae Antoine, and Christina Kwan are our 3 finalists. So they submitted their proposals. The jury narrowed down 157 to those 3. And then on October 25th, we're going to throw a big party at the gallery, and we are going to unveil the new mural that'll stay on the grounds for the next year. Okay.
Is it like what I'm imagining? It goes up and then you pull the cloth off?
Exactly. Except that is we call it in the art world a big ass cloth, because the mural is 6 foot by 14 foot. And we kind of keep it under wraps as the artist is painting the mural. So it's a surprise when people show up. So we'll announce the finalists shortly, but we won't unveil their sketch until the day of the event. And so to celebrate the event, we strategically plan it so there's no Georgia football game that day.
There you go.
That's a bye
You've made that mistake
Georgia.
Before. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not our first rodeo. We know how to plan fall events, right? So we can't take every SEC or all these schools out, but there is no Georgia game that day. Okay. The event's from 4 to 7. It's at the gallery. It's got open bar. It's got catering with Chef Za. We have a new band this year, Michael Magno. And he did a residency at Le Meridien, and he was on your sponsor's podcast on Discover Dunwoody just about a year ago. Okay. So we've got some new tunes, food. The event starts at 4. We mingle, we listen to music. This year's theme, it's called Spirits for Spruill. And so we always have like a spirit partner that we work with, and those vary each year. Last year we did a tequila tasting. The year before that, we had ready-to-drink cocktails from Post Meridian. We partnered with Distillery Modern Art, Short Barrel, Porter. This year we're doing a Taste of Georgia Spirits. So we will have a lot of spirits that people don't realize are made right here in Georgia. So rum, gin, bourbon. We're going to have Georgia beers, and we will have, not disparaging the Georgia wine industry, but we're going to have regular traditional wines to go along with that.
All of the spirits.
Well done. It's a fun event. Well, it's a really fun event. So we go for about an hour and a half, and then we all walk out to the mural. The artist will be there, and then, like you said, we'll pull the sheet and we'll unveil the new mural. We'll ooh, we'll ah, we'll clap, we'll say some words about art, and then we stick around to about 7 o'clock. It's usually a beautiful fall day, and it's a no-brainer, like easy Saturday afternoon in the fall in Dunwoody. We're out in the back and the garden at the gallery, and it's usually gorgeous out. We have this year for the first time table seating. It was usually just GA, and so this year we kind of upped it a little bit. We'll have a big tent, and we'll have tables for 4, tables for 6, and then if you want to just kind of come and participate and get the food in the open bar, we also have GA tickets still.
Oh, nice. Okay, so I think you've caught everybody's attention at this point. Now let's go back. The farmhouse, is that what you called it? The Spruill Gallery?
The Smokehouse.
Smokehouse. Okay.
Yeah.
What is the Smokehouse? Just where the mural is?
Yeah, well, actually, no. It's building. One of the old. So the Spruill Gallery moved to that site in the late 80s. So that gallery itself has been renovated over the years, but it goes back to the 1800s. So it is this really old house. Like people drive by that house all the time, and they're like, "We're in the middle of the PCID, right?" And so we've got this 1800s house, and people don't necessarily know what it is. So we have the house.
Let's start there. So that's off of Ashford Dunwoody. It's right next to where the Walmart closed, and it's on the corner there. It is the building that sticks out like a sore thumb, and you're like, "Why is there a house there?" But if you are, I go there once a year, and it's always right around Christmas time, and I find my wife some cute little thing just to throw in with the gifts, and it's supporting Atlanta artists, which is exactly doing it.
Yeah, you go. You're doing great.
Thanks. That's all I
got. So the house was moved there in the late 80s. It became the Spruill Gallery in the early 90s. And, so the gallery operates year round. We host 5 exhibitions each year. And then, as you mentioned, we also have the Spruill Shop. And the Spruill Shop features Georgian artists. So ceramics, glass, jewelry, artwork, all that kind of stuff. And the gallery's open all year long. The shop is open all year long. So the gallery exhibits rotate. We actually have a exhibition opening on Friday. Well, it'll probably be after this airs, but Friday, September 19th, called Preternatural. And so we have different exhibitions all year. And then November, December, our annual holiday art fair, which has been going on for, I think, 32 years now.
Wow.
And this year, we already have lined up 130 artists that'll be showing at the holiday art fair. So it's going to be a banger this year.
Yeah. So, Alan, when did you take over? Like 2022-ish?
Yeah, I wish. 2020, no? March
2020, was it that long? Okay, I was going to say that.
Well, there was. I started on March 2nd, 2020. On March 16th, we closed our doors for the pandemic.
That's right. So I do remember talking about this.
Do you remember when we did all the yard signs, Hayward?
Yeah. And Hayward, yeah, you were a big part of that.
Yeah, so we
and that works well. That works well with the Smokehouse too. The sole thing. The sign came down, and then it ended up in everybody's yards, right?
Yep. That was the thing. So the 2 outbuildings there, we have the Smokehouse and the Seed House, and they are literally from the Spruill farm. One was the house where they smoke their meats, the Smokehouse, which is where the mural is. And then there's another outbuilding there that we use for storage now, and that was the Seed House, and that was where they kept their seeds and cultivated plants in terms for their farming.
Okay, I didn't know you needed a seed house, but I guess that's where the term came from, huh?
I haven't farmed in a few minutes, Matt.
Yeah. Well, how have you enjoyed your time at Spruill? Because I feel like you've made huge improvements in everything, and
Thank
the new
you.
building. I won't give it to you specifically, say that you did everything, but that new
No,
building is amazing, and you are in charge.
we
So
we have we have just a killer team here at Spruill right now. It's awesome. We are
yeah,
like, so I've been here almost 6 years, and we are just firing on all cylinders like we never have before. It is
yeah,
crazy. Like our enrollment this year, we will probably end the year with a 50% enrollment increase in our classes over
really.
2019, over pre-pandemic days. Yeah,
Do
we'll
you think
probably
that's
reach.
because of the new building? What do you attribute that
Absolutely,
to?
yeah. I mean, it's a few things. One, the new building, because we never had the
More
space
space,
like
right?
to do the enrollment. Two, it's our reputation. Three, our classes, our teachers are just amazing. So people come and they take a class and they don't leave, and they take new
Yeah,
classes. They take ceramics or jewelry or painting, and they try different mediums. And then once they're here, they keep coming back for more, because in the classrooms, we cultivate this kind of artistic community, and
hmm,
they're not just coming like to learn painting, right? They're making friends with people in their classes. It becomes their ride or die, basically. We get so many amazing comments that the classes and the people they meet change their lives for the better, not only in the creativity side of things, but in their mental well-being and the friendships that they form, in the
yeah,
in the whole idea of community spirit. It's been an amazing last few years. And the other thing that I think really drives what we're doing is we put a big effort this year in our community programs. And so the idea was, when we did our strategic plan, is not to just be an art center, right? We didn't want to just be transactional where you came and you took a class and then you went home. We wanted to be that third place where people developed community. Our mission is to foster creativity and social connections. So
yeah,
this year we really focused on that social connections. So for example, we had Salsa Sunday this past Sunday, free
yeah. I saw
community
that.
program. We had 100 people doing salsa in the courtyard on a Sunday night. We did a mahjong class. We had over 100 people sign up for mahjong, and we're starting now to do like be a place where people come play mahjong. We have 50 people in those two classes coming up in a couple of weeks.
Oh
We've
wow.
done programs for artists where they can just come and bring their work and meet with other artists. We do yoga every Friday morning. That's probably one of the best hidden secrets of Dunwoody. Every
Yeah,
Friday morning for free
in
at
the
8
courtyard.
o'clock, come in the courtyard and do free community yoga. So that's been amazing. We started programs. We have our Creative Connections, which is for patients with cognitive impairments and their caregivers. We have a new toddler program called Mini Makers. We have a family field day coming up in October, which is games and crafts, and give the kids a chance to wear their Halloween costumes an extra time before Halloween. So
I love it.
there's so
And this
much.
isn't just art stuff. I mean,
Yeah,
it seems like you're
exactly.
just trying to bring people in and see what happens. That's awesome.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, look, we're a community center, right? We are in the
Hmm.
heart of Dunwoody, and we really want to be a true community center. We want to be based on the arts, but we want to be a place, a home in the community for people to gather and form these connections. And that's what we do best. So I think
Yeah.
all those things go hand in hand with our success, and are kind of why we're continuing to grow, and more people are becoming a part of what we're doing.
Yeah. And people go from a long way away to come to y'all.
Yeah.
Are there other art centers in the area that
There's some
are
like regional players like us. So us and
mm,
Callanwald and Hudgens Center are kind of the big three
okay.
centers, but they're geographically dispersed. So Callanwald's down, off like Ponce in the Highlands area. We're
Yeah.
here in Dunwoody, and then Hudgens is up in Gwinnett. So then
Okay.
there's some smaller art centers, so like Abernathy and Chastain, Johns Creek. They all have some smaller art centers, but really in terms of like big art centers, like I said, like right now, well, we just finished our summer quarter. We had 2,400 students, so we have
Jeez.
a
Really?
lot of students. About half of them draw from the perimeter area, so Dunwoody, Chamblee, Sandy Springs, Doraville, Brookhaven are
Mm,
about half of our students, and then the other half come from other areas outside of that.
yeah. Well, I mean, it's just part of human nature. You want to be around people like you, and you
Yeah,
want to talk about the thing that is interesting to you. And so if you have to travel a ways to get to that location and sign up for multiple classes and be around the same type of people, and I can see how that would be appealing to people.
And we're all used to traffic, right? Everything's 30 minutes in
Yeah.
traffic. Classes, are either like at 10 o'clock or 1 o'clock or 7 o'clock. So you
Okay.
could come if you're retired in the morning. If you're working, you come after work. We do weekends, obviously, too. So all day Saturday, all day Sunday. So we try to do a variety of times to make it fit within everybody's schedule as well.
Yeah. Oh, I want to talk about you. Have you been into art your whole life? Like, where you came from the Nature Center. That was how I met
Yeah.
you. And you ran the Nature Center. And then all of a sudden you were like, I'm going to go do Spruill.
No, dude, I've got a whole life before we became friends at the Nature Center.
Yeah, I'm sure you do. But
I was a professional photographer for 15 years.
okay.
Yeah. And growing
Did not
up,
know
I
that.
was always like pretty creative and artsy.
Yeah.
But, growing up, that wasn't kind of necessarily a career choice. It was like, you went to college, you got a job, everyone's mom and dad wanted to be a doctor or a lawyer or something like that. I didn't quite go that route. So I stayed in the creativity industry. I worked in advertising. And then mid 90s, I picked up photography, and I was a photographer until about 2010 when I went to the Nature Center. The Nature Center was kind of just like serendipity. I happened to live and back up to the Nature Center, and I got involved on their board. I did a fundraiser for them using photography to sell some prints, and then got involved on their board. And then in 2010, they were looking for a new executive director, and they asked me to come back as that. So that was one of those kind of decisions to make, whether to stick with photography or go nonprofit. Photography is a challenging industry, from a financial and livelihood standpoint. I had 2 younger kids at the time. So to be close to home, not have to travel for work, not have weird hours or as weird hours, all that was kind of involved in the decision.
Yeah. Well, and then you switched from one community nonprofit into another, and that's
Yeah. I mean, I doubled my commute, right? I went from a quarter mile to almost a full mile away from my
you
house.
still almost walk there, yeah.
Yeah, I don't like driving to work.
No, nobody does. Looking for something fun for the whole family? Discover Dunwoody is spotlighting all of the best kid-approved and parent-friendly activities around town. From parks and playgrounds to interactive museums and seasonal events, there's always something for families to enjoy here. Their videos and posts make it easy to plan a weekend or trip everyone was going to remember. And if you've got somebody, family or friends coming to town, have them book a stay at whatsupdunwoody.com/hotels. Booking through that link helps support our podcast. And for the latest kid-friendly events, just visit whatsupdunwoody.com/events. All right, Alan, so what else are we missing? Tell us more about Spruill.
Yeah.
What's next?
So what's next? Good question. We, as I mentioned before, we are in the final year of our strategic plan, which as a nonprofit guy, like I love strategic plans. They just give you this kind of roadmap as to where you need to go, like, and everyone's bought into the direction. And so then you just implement some of the tactics and see what works and see what doesn't. You can make adjustments, but you have an idea of where you want to get to. So in our last year of this strategic plan, we really have these kind of like big impact ideas that we want to try to touch on and see what's happening. So without tipping our hat too much, I'd say keep your eye on
throw them out there. Put them out in the open so everybody knows.
So we're budgeting and planning right now, but keep your eye on the gallery. The gallery's got some cool stuff going on. I'll say one thing. We're definitely going to be doing some renovations. And so if you've been there recently, right, we've pulled up a lot of the old landscaping that was dying off. We're going to be doing some painting. There's not a lot of signage over there. So if you know a good sign guy, I need to make a call to that guy.
Yeah, he was on a podcast a while back.
Okay, well, I think I can reach out to him. If he watches this religiously, I'm sure I'll get a call as soon as it airs. Right?
Yeah, right.
But we'll also do some renovations to the ground, some landscaping, some painting, maybe some other stuff that'll come up. And then we've got some so as I mentioned, we had 157 applications, right? The Spruill Gallery's gaining this reputation. We're in our second year as being a partner with the Atlanta Art Fair. Are you familiar with what that is?
No. I
the
know
Atlanta
nothing
Art
about art,
Fair.
Alan. You brought me all of the information about art that I know in the Atlanta
Okay,
area.
well, I've got a VIP pass with your name on it for the Atlanta Art Fair. It is
Okay. What is that?
September 25th through 28th. It's down at Pullman Yards. There
Okay.
will be
Cool area.
20 to 30 different galleries and cultural institutions like Spruill that are a part of it. Last year, they had 12,000 people come to this Atlanta Art Fair. So it's
Okay.
all artists and galleries and work, and we talk about art, and you see what's up and coming, and you can buy prints and buy original art and see all the artists. And it's people from a lot of Atlanta galleries, but from throughout the country and internationally too. So it's a
Hmm.
really cool event. We're honored to be a partner again for the second straight year. We're one of only two that are coming back for a second year. So the
Okay.
galleries got this burgeoning reputation and growing impact, and we want to capitalize on that, right?
Yeah.
We want to create a home. There's not a really a place for artists here at the top end perimeter. There's not a lot of artist studio space.
Yeah.
And so without getting into the weeds too much, think about what would happen if we created space for artists to work, live, play up here on the perimeter side to help increase kind of the fabric of what we have in our culture, arts and culture community here in the perimeter area. So
Okay.
that's one of our big things for
That
next
was a
year. We're
heck of a
super
tease there,
excited
Alan.
about. Pardon?
That was a heck of a tease right there.
Yeah, I opened the kimono a little more than I wanted to, but we'll see what happens.
You
We're
heard it here
planning on
first.
that. And the other thing that I'm super proud of that we've accomplished this year, so we began a scholarship program a few years ago, and we were able to award with some individual donors and some funding $40,000 worth of scholarships. It was
Oh,
huge.
wow.
Last year, we were able to award $66,000 worth of scholarships. And that's about split between campers, right? Because camp is such a hard time for working
Yeah.
parents, especially if you don't have the financial means for your kids over the summer. Like, what do you do with them all summer? So
Yeah.
half of those were campers, half were adults. This year, as of our August financials, we've awarded already $108,000 worth of
Oh, wow.
scholarships, mostly for adults.
Okay.
So you've heard about the K recovery of the economy, and a
Hmm.
lot of people are still struggling right now. The need for scholarships has been immense, right? We want to make sure that people that are left out of some of the other areas of our economy and our community have access to the arts. So
Yeah.
with that $108,000 that we funded already, our board just approved in our meeting yesterday another $20,000 worth of funding for that. So we
Nice.
are really looking for support. This is my plea to anyone listening. We're
Yeah.
looking for support to help support those scholarships, because right now, of that $108,000, 60,000 of it has come just out of pocket. Like
Okay.
we're donating $60,000 worth of classes. So we receive some individual support and some foundation and corporate support for that. But a big project for us next year is to try to figure out how to continue to grow our scholarship offerings. And
Hmm.
that means like growing the support within the community for those scholarships. So those
Yeah.
are kind of, in terms of our planning for next year, are two big things that we really want to focus on.
Okay. Yeah, I love the idea for adults, but specifically for kids. Like my kids bring up stuff all the time where they're like, "I want to go to this Buckhead Church Transit weekend." I'm like, "Oh, it's
Yeah,
$400," and
right,
like, I know
right.
you want to do it, but we got to pick and choose what we're doing here
Exactly.
between like soccer camps and all these
Yeah.
different things.
And
And
if you
so
think
that,
about, most households that have two working parents, like what do you do with the kids all day?
yeah,
So,
that's
so
true.
this year was we had a great we sold out our summer camps. We had 1,100 students. 13% of them were here on scholarships. So we
1,100
were
students. Wow.
Yeah, we had 1,100 campers this summer. But what we're proud of is that 13% of those campers were here on full scholarships. So it
Okay.
really helps diversify, who's here in our camps. And
Hmm.
we also make sure that we reserve spots in those camps, because if you're coming on a scholarship, you're not getting up on February 15th or whenever we open registration for camps. They're all
Right.
so absurdly early. Like we hold back spaces for those camps so that those parents in May and June that are trying to find something for their kids can still get into the camps. So
Yeah.
it's a really solid program.
Well, that's awesome. Well, I think you've gone over everything now, Alan. Anything else in your notes there you want to touch on?
Don't tell everyone I've got notes. We're doing this all off the cuff.
Can you tell us how to find more information about giving to Spruill, or find more information about Spirits for Spruill?
Yeah, best way to get any of that information is our website. We update the website constantly. So, well, one, if you're
you've done a good job with that website too. I was on there the other day. It looks really nice.
Appreciate that. We actually just hired 90 days ago a new digital marketing specialist. And she's crushing, and she'll be listening to this podcast. She emailed you about getting me on. So Jenna, here's your little shout out. But our website, well, one, if you're in need of scholarships, those are on the website. If you want to learn about classes, those are on the website. If you want to get tickets for Spirits for Spruill, those are on the website. And thank you for referencing my notes, because I was remiss in mentioning the sponsors for Spirits for Spruill. Can I do that real quick? Quick shout out to Longtime Special. We already talked about two of them. Discover Dunwoody and PCID are both sponsors again this year. It's a great, local Dunwoody event. Regency Centers has been a years-long partner of ours for many things, not only Spirits for Spruill, but our holiday art fair and artistic affair. They're the presenting sponsor this year. And then JWB Realty and Rough Draft is our media partner. So we've got some great local organizations that are helping, help us make the event possible. And help you guys come and have a good time. They're buying all the booze, guys, so it's on them. If you see them, say thanks.
There you go. Your parties are always the best.
Appreciate that.
Well, Alan, thanks a lot for coming on. It's always a pleasure. Except for Mark Galvin, you might have been on the show more than anybody at this point.
Yeah, so I've got a tally in the back. I got to see if I caught up to Mark yet. He's on every 4 days, though. He's hard to keep up with.
It's not fair anymore. We're going to take Mark out of it.
Aside from those that are in the inner circle, I'm just on the outside, right?
You're my inner circle, Alan. Cool.
We'll talk about that out there, Matt.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, buddy.
All right. Thank you.